leather gloves were slapping in hands. Popcorn and peanuts were working the stands. Pink cotton candy, love on a stick, was chasing the deer that circled the lips. Play ball, play ball. Load up the bases and smack it right over the wall. Play ball.
And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Laughter Saves Lives.
Live!
Here on Strong Island Television, Paradise Studios, from beautiful downtown, uptown, and Old Town, Massapequa, New York,
Yes.
right by the railroad, pizzeria, and the Chinese restaurant. Welcome, my co-host, Rich Walker is here tonight.
I am here, yes. It's a big night for us.
It's a big night and brought to you by the law firm of Barish and McGarry, lawyers for the 9/11 community. Now, last week after the show, Richie and I hung around for a while until Bobby threw us out.
Yeah.
And we were talking about how maybe we could be a little more professional up front and get an announcer, get somebody who really knows what they're doing to make the announcement.
Yes.
And we searched high and low and found nobody, so we asked Butch.
Right.
So Butch is going to come on now and do the new beginning. We're not there yet because we need a podium. We need better sound. But Butch is going to practice it. So here we go. Right now,
he is our Don Pardo.
He is our Don Dodo. So it would end the music just like now, and then Butch would come on like this. Let's see how it works out. This is rough today.
Perfect.
The music.
Welcome to Laughter Saves Lives Live. Tonight, our guests are Michael Barish and Bridget Gormley from the law firm of Barish and McGarry, lawyers for the 9/11 community. We then welcome in one of our favorite guests, Burt Ward, who of course portrayed Robin on the 60s TV show Batman, and now keeps our pets healthy and living longer with his line of Gentle Giants pet products. We wrap things up tonight with laughs from comic Mike Burton. And now, please welcome our hosts, Rich Walker and the president of the Laughter Saves Lives Foundation, John Rocchia.
Oh, wow, that's an intro.
Do it again. No, that was amazing.
What a difference.
Our time's up.
That's amazing.
Our time's up now.
And it all came together when Mom sang along.
Yeah. On a scale of 1 to 10, that was an 8. 8. And for the first time,
I'll take it.
All right.
Not bad.
Very good. So, Richie, welcome
I
back.
loved it.
Friday night, we did a fundraiser for One Soldier, One Dog, One Team in Manalapan, New Jersey. We raised, I think, about $2,000 for the One Soldier, One Dog, One Team. They get foster dogs, hook them up with a veteran with post-traumatic stress. Beautiful organization. We had so much fun. Sandy L's killed. I had James Mack, an Army veteran, a new comic. First time using him.
I heard he was hysterical.
He was good. He was very good. So it was a good show. We may be going to Florida, and I don't mean to do this to you on the air. But would there be any chance that you could come just with yourself to Florida to do these shows if I could swing that?
Yeah, sure.
You wouldn't have to lay out a dime, and you may make a dime.
Well, that sounds even better.
It's a paid vacation.
As long as I'm not booked.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, excuse me. Today I had a nice writing session with Mary Kennedy out of LA there.
Yeah.
She was on Shameless and a few other things. We're working on my screenplay, A Time to Laugh Again, based on the Laughter Saves Lives Foundation, how it started after 9/11. And we're trying to get some big names. We have some names, but we need to fill other parts. We can't spend money on 10 big parts.
Right.
So we were going through some things today, and I said, Mary, the part that you're talking about, Rich Walker. Right in the middle, it came to, in fact, we both said it at the same time, Rich
Walker in unison.
Yeah.
Wow.
In unison. Now, do you want to hear the part?
Yes.
All right, so you're in the kitchen, all right, and you fall in the kitchen and you hit your head. You're unconscious. Your wife comes to the window as the fire department pulls up. Right. We see her hanging out the window. We said, ma'am, what's going on? My husband is unconscious. We said, can he speak? She goes, Honey, are you okay? He doesn't answer. Right? And then that's the end of the scene. So you're playing the guy that doesn't say anything, that we don't see, that's unconscious, that the wife is talking to.
Right. I'm going to need you to first send me the script.
What? That's the script. That's the whole scene.
No, I mean, well, the dialogue.
Yes.
I mean,
there's no dialogue.
Oh.
There's no visual.
This is the second time this week. I get a call early in the week. I'm not making it up. A guy goes, I'm making a movie, and it's going to have a terrible car accident. You're going to be all bloody. Was the word bludgeoned?
Right,
I
bludgeoned.
Guess. Bludgeoned, and you're unconscious.
Right.
And this is your part. I'm like, well, wait, there's nothing more.
Well, at least
why doesn't anybody want Rich Walker to speak?
Well, we're going to tell people later on in the credits, playing the part that you didn't see, that the guy didn't speak, Rich Walker.
Right.
So you'll be in the credits. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Think about it. Think about it.
I could go on IMDb now.
You can. You can. In fact, I should have looked at IMDb. I did it for Mike Burton, our comic. I looked on IMDb, and I'm going to tell him. I'm going to ask him later if he knows what it says about him.
Oh,
because it says nothing.
Do you know what it says about you?
Yes.
Well, you should. You wrote it.
I was in a Subway commercial back in 2000.
Really?
Yes.
What did you say?
Fresh Faces of Comedy, it was called.
Wow.
And I was standing on the street in Manhattan, Broadway.
This is Subway the sandwich.
Yes.
Yeah.
Subway sandwiches and me. I was in the commercial. Fresh Faces of Comedy, and I did one of my jokes, and I said something about. They said fresh comedy, fresh faces, by Subway, something like that.
Right.
I'll show it to you. You never saw the commercial?
I won't. No, I never.
It's on YouTube. It's on YouTube. Very young. I was very young.
Yeah.
Went out to get coffee today.
Yes, you did.
First time I ever did it in my life.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
I don't really drink coffee that much.
Really?
And I had a ride with Mary for an hour and a half, and I was a little tired. And I said to Paula, I'm going to go out and get a cup of coffee. She said, wow. Now, when I get coffee, it's half coffee. It's like some milk, light milk, and then a little cream. It's not really. It's a girly coffee.
Very, white.
Very, very creamy. So I went out and got coffee today.
How was it? What did you go for?
These are items that are not in the top 50
was it
things.
Dunkin' or was it?
I like 7-Eleven because you get to play. There's a lot of different creamers in there. And a lot of different coffees. And
you get to play.
I'm a little concerned with the shirt rotation in my drawer lately.
Oh no!
Now I have to be honest. My wife does most of the laundry. Thank you so much, honey. You do a wonderful job because I'll throw some in there once in a while, but she does it. The shirt rotation, I forget to rotate the shirts, and I end up wearing like this shirt I wore 4 times this week because she washes the laundry a lot.
Right.
Do you rotate your shirts, or what's your system? For our viewers who are wondering.
Well, at this point, like my wife has commandeered every drawer in our room. So I have a windowsill and I just pile the shirts up there. Like they're all just piled.
Does she really have most of the space in the closet?
She does have a lot of space. Like my side of the closet I go, hey, I called Goodwill. I got rid of a lot of shirts, stuff like that.
So she fills
but
that.
she moved over all the stuff.
That's not right.
Yeah.
I have a little closet in the corner, and I said this in my comedy act. She has the big closet, and I have this little closet that you can't open the door because we moved the dresser over. So every time I need clothes, it's like I'm moving like Jesus's tomb. I got to move the large rock, get in there, go through, and she throws all my clothes in there when people are coming over.
Yeah.
I wear these sneakers, Richie, every day.
Right.
She puts them in the closet and puts stuff on top of them.
Yeah.
I wear them every day. Just put them under the bed, right?
How many T-shirts do you have in this drawer?
I have a lot of fire department shirts from around the country.
I say one thing?
Teach around the country.
I had a friend, fireman, passed away.
Yes.
Dix Hills Fire Department. But that's all he did was wear fire department T-shirts. What is it about firemen that only wear winter, spring, summer, fall fire department T-shirts?
Very proud, I think, of what we do or what we did. But also, if you notice, I wear a lot of shirts from other departments.
Right.
Especially on the air and on stage.
How come no fire department springs for the long sleeves?
No, they do.
They do?
Some of them do. Yep. Some of them do. Very exciting. You didn't see the video, but we presented my daughter up at Binghamton University. She has not had a car for 4 years.
Look at that.
Very good girl. Very patient. We drove up there. We brought the dog to stay overnight in her apartment.
Yeah.
She kissed the dog for about 3 minutes. then hugged her mother, then kissed the dog again. And about 10 minutes into it, she realized I was there. So then she gave me a little huggy, all that. And then we said, by the way, get his stuff out of the car. This is what I want to do my whole life to somebody.
Yeah.
And we gave her the keys, and she turned to the left, and the car was 2 apartments down with a big bow on it.
Right.
And she freaking flipped out.
Oh, she did.
Flipped out. It's all on video on Facebook. Look at my Facebook page. It was one of the greatest. I don't want to say the greatest things that I did in my life, but it was very exciting to be able to do this for her because she's so good. She never complained about having a car. And she got a little cap. She got a little cap, and she was driving to the store with us. She drove here. Very cute. Very cute.
And it was a beautiful car, too.
It's a Subaru Crosstrek, which Richie just bought also. Yeah. Funny thing happened the other day. I don't know how much time we have before we break. I'm sure.
Let me tell you real quick, Subaru story.
Subaru.
I almost had an accident the other day, and the new Subaru, my new Subaru, 4 cars stopped. They go from 60 to 0. And I came right up. This car stopped. I was less than an
inch. By itself, or you stopped it?
I don't know, but my pedal was down to the floor.
Right.
But I think together.
It was the together thing, the automatic brakes.
It would not allow me to touch that car in the front. So
the goose.
Yes.
Vincent Frank Boccigalupskin, Jill LaRocchia, who was on the show last week, my grandson, did something very cute the other day.
What did he say?
The masks are off now in school. They're all very happy. The kindergartens, the masks are off. Actually, after school, all the little guys, some of them kindergarten had some matches. They were burning them in the playground.
Yeah.
But he snuck into school. His best friend Avery wears glasses. He wants to wear glasses. He came home the other day and said a drop of water got in his eye. He thinks he needs glasses. All right, because the drop of water got in his eye.
Right.
So here's what he did. He snuck his safety goggles from the chemistry kit I bought him into school and wore the safety goggles all day in school. The teacher didn't say anything because he didn't know. And when he came out, I called my son and I go, did you get he snuck them into school and wore them all day.
He wanted to have glasses like his friend.
It was so cute.
So cute.
All right, so how about we take a break and we'll be back with our first guest. Thank you. Yeah.
"9/11 didn't end on 9/11. 500,000 people were exposed to the World Trade Center toxins and are still at risk today. 68 cancers have been linked, including skin cancers, prostate cancer, breast cancer, blood cancers, and many respiratory illnesses. Fortunately, all victims qualify for free health care, and more than $10 billion is available from the 9/11 Victim Compensation Fund.
I was a paralegal just 2 blocks from Ground Zero. I had skin cancer and lymphoma.
I worked at Goldman Sachs. I had kidney cancer and respiratory illnesses.
I was a downtown teacher. I had breast cancer. I qualify.
I qualify.
I qualify.
If you were downtown anytime on or after 9/11, call Barish and McGarry, the lawyers for the 9/11 community. Call today. No law firm has recovered more money with over $2 billion awarded to 9/11 victims. If you worked, lived, or went to school in the exposure zone on or after 9/11, call Barish and McGarry today.
My father worked downtown. He died of bladder cancer.
I ran from Gateway Plaza in a cloud of smoke as the towers fell.
My mother and I qualify.
I qualify.
Barish and McGarry's advocacy for 9/11 victims isn't just professional, it's personal. With offices just steps from Ground Zero, they witnessed the pain of the 9/11 attacks and lobbied Congress to pass and permanently extend the Victim Compensation Fund.
I was a downtown court officer. I had prostate cancer in 2007. I qualify.
We all qualify.
Do I look natural?
You look good. And we're back. Laughter Saves Lives live. Co-host Rich Walker getting ready for Batman over here. He brought all his
Batman and Robin.
You know, he brought all his Batman and Robin stuff in. So our first guest tonight, we have our main sponsor, Michael Barish, and coming on with him is Bridget Gormley. Hello, guys.
Hey guys, how are you?
We got a plug. How are you guys?
Great to see you guys.
It's great to see you guys. It's hard. It's hard getting you guys locked in, man. You're busy.
You got us.
Okay. So is it safe to take our mask off?
No.
I just said yes. I wasn't sure.
He can.
Ask Bridget.
We're not affected.
Right.
He has to mask off for this.
In fact, we're not.
There he is. Look.
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful. So thank you guys for being here tonight.
Well, if I weren't here tonight, I would know nothing about your closet situation. So I think that that's a highlight that everyone is going to take home with them tonight. And we're all going to go to our wives and say, get out of my half of the closet.
You know, you kid. But these are issues that people want to talk about after they're talking about the 50 most important things that are out there.
So true. And you guys dressed up so nicely tonight. I feel like overdressed.
Thank you. You know, we did have a night, a comedy show, and I ended up talking to Bridget afterwards. And after about an hour, she was like, done. I had nothing left. She lost interest in 10 minutes and was nice enough to listen for 50 more. But then she disappeared. And she said she had to go to the ladies' room, never saw her again.
Well,
Typical, right?
it was the food at the restaurant. I don't take it personally. But
right,
you know
thanks.
what? Bridget does have a great story, and I'm so glad that you invited her on today.
All right, let's.
Yes, she does.
Tell us.
I'm just going to can I quickly start with you, Michael, very quick. I saw you had a new webinar up there on your site. Tell us where we're at with the program and what firefighters and people who are down there should be doing at this point if they haven't done anything.
Right. Okay. So thanks for inviting us and helping us spread the word. You know, our big mission now that Jon Stewart and the firefighter unions and the police unions got the Zadroga Health and Compensation Act extended 70 years, we're trying to get the word out. Two things. Even if you're healthy, register now. Because every year that goes by, John, it becomes harder and harder for people to prove that they were there. Remember, the government is giving away a lot of money here to people who get sick. So the only thing you need to do is prove that you were there, which almost all firefighters were. But a lot of retired firefighters came back. I'm sure you know this.
Yes,
because, once a firefighter, always a firefighter. We were missing 343 guys, and so many retirees came back to help in the rescue and recovery operation. They felt it was a moral obligation.
Yes.
But so many of those guys, I was just down in Florida meeting retired guys down there. They feel like, I wasn't an active firefighter. I don't deserve anything. I don't want to take money away from the active guys. Right. Well, first of all, the government permanently extended and fully funded the health program and the compensation fund. You're not taking money away from anyone. And it's available to the guys who were retired who came back to volunteer. That's fantastic. Protect your family. Register now, even if you're 100% healthy. Because someday in the next 30 years, you may not. Yes. And then it may be hard to find a witness to sign an affidavit saying you were there.
Right. Fire and police. We're not only talking about fire and police and EMS.
We're talking about sanitation, construction workers. Those are most of the first responders, but we're also talking about 300,000 office workers. I don't know if you saw the story on the front page of the Daily News on Sunday. They ran a story about the reopening of Century 21, which was exactly 20 years ago last week.
Right.
They had 600 retail workers there. Only 8% of them have enrolled in the free healthcare. They certainly don't know about this program. And most of them were itinerant workers working there in the 8 months after 9/11 when, remember, the government told us the air was safe to breathe?
Right.
It wasn't. And a lot of these Century 21 workers have cancer and have died. I'm sorry, what'd you say?
That was Christy Todd Whitman, right? Ex-governor of New Jersey. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, you used to go out with her. I remember. And the air was not safe. It was dangerous. And so many of these retail workers, these office workers, they are sick. They're coming down with the same illnesses as the firefighters and cops. They're dying of the same illnesses. Their families are still entitled to compensation.
Yes, and that's the point.
But they don't know it.
That's beautiful. That's the point that I wanted you to make because I don't think a lot of people are aware of that. let me get to your lovely partner over there, Bridget. Hello, Bridget.
How are you, John? What's going on?
Good. It's nice to have you. Your dad passed away from 9/11 related cancer, correct? William Gormley. Do we have that picture, Bobby?
Picture. They came prepared.
You may have a picture.
Right.
So your dad, and you also had some other relatives that were Aries.
Yeah, I come from a very blue collar civil servants family, so they're all got their fingers in the pot.
So when I was reading your, it wasn't a bio, but I was reading, and you said after 9/11, oh, we went home, we got home a few days later. Oh my God, we were saved. We were so lucky. None of our family was lost. And then over the preceding years, you went through hell.
Exactly, yeah. And a lot of people are going through this too. And a lot of people don't realize it either, that there are more people that are going to pass away from 9/11 cancer than the day itself. I didn't know it. I took my dad to die to realize it, but I learned it, and then I, did what I had to do.
And you're giving back.
I'm trying to.
So what are the kinds of things you're doing?
So I'm working with Michael right now. I'm helping him with some outreach and getting the word out to everybody. And then in 2019, I finished a film about the whole process, the legal battle, the political battle, and the battle that everyone's going through just to get compensated and recognize that, people are getting sick and dying. So,
name of the film?
Dust.
Dust. And who was in the film? Did you have any names or any people that really helped you with it?
This was a star, Michael Barish.
No, I was not the star. But she did have some incredible producer.
I did. So Steve Buscemi came on board, and he helped me hustle it a little bit. Yeah. So I don't know if anybody knows this, but he used to be a FDNY fireman himself, and he was for 5 years.
At Engine 55.
Yeah, down in
and he was down there short. If it wasn't on 9/11, shortly after with his old boots and helmets.
Yeah, he just showed up. He turned up with his hands and said, "Put me to work." And so it's very close to him. He was touched by it.
That's the beauty. That's the beauty of being a firefighter. And I was on another show today out of Texas, and firefighters are always the ones to step up a lot of times. You go on Sunday or Saturday on the soccer fields and the baseball fields, half the coaches are cops,
firemen and cops, right? Yeah.
Yeah. They're always giving. So what else you want to tell us about the movie? Anything else?
I'm hoping to have it somewhere soon, so you guys will be the first to know once I got a platform to show it on.
It's really great. It tells the narrative, and it's an ode really to her father, Bill. And it's really a touching thing. But Bill is just one. Bridget just mentioned how we're approaching the point where more people will have died of 9/11 cancers and respiratory illnesses. Well, in fact, we've now lost over 4,000 people. Count not just responders, but everybody to 9/11 illnesses, and that's according to NIOSH and the Victim Compensation Fund. I believe the last few firefighters who died brings the count of firefighters up to about 270 who have now died of 9/11 illnesses. So certainly by the end of next year, we will surpass the 343 who died that day. It's really heartbreaking. That's why I always say 9/11 didn't end on 9/11, even though a lot of people and politicians, they don't want to think about it anymore.
Yeah. I mean, I think the World Trade Center program is doing a pretty good job. I know with the little thing that I had, this little lump that was a little cancerous, I get a call once, twice a year. Hey, did you go for an MRI? Did you follow up? You're doing it right. And
well, John, I'm glad you brought that up, and I certainly wouldn't have brought it up, but you did. So skin cancer is the most common cancer in the 9/11 community because that air was the same pH level as Drano, and it was floating in the air. The buildings were on fire for 99 days, but the dust was everywhere for 8 months. So for those listeners out there, if you were at any time below Canal Street, taking part, whether you were a responder or a volunteer, you owe it to yourself to go for an annual full body skin exam. We represented a dark-skinned firefighter. He didn't think he could ever get skin cancer, but he heard Richie Allies and me one day talking about the importance of doing it because it's crazy how many thousands of people we represent with skin cancer. So he calls me up a month later and he goes, Mike, I just want to thank you. I went to my dermatologist because I saw some discoloration on my arm. And the doctor assured me it's nothing. But he said, I don't like the color underneath your pinky. He took a biopsy. He got a call a couple of days later saying, get in here right away.
Wow.
And sure enough, he had melanoma. The doctors removed half his pinky, but it had already spread to his lungs. He started chemotherapy right away, and thankfully today, he's okay.
Good.
But if he hadn't gone for that appointment, we'd be telling a much different story. So I urge everyone, pay attention. Go to a dermatologist. And for you guys out there, go for your annual PSA, the exam where they test your prostate, because after skin cancer, prostate cancer for men, breast cancer for women, and a lot of men and women, they passed up on their annual exams, even for skin cancer during COVID, because it wasn't, an emergency situation. Right. But as a result, we're going to see a huge spike. But I'm so excited about Bridget's movie. I can't wait until this gets some traction because it's really so moving. It's just she's a great storyteller.
Any help that we can give you, Bridget, let me know. The rest of your members of your family, you said were in, first responders. How are they?
Everyone's good for right now, but you know how it is. It's kind of like a heavy, heavy burden to, carry.
Any websites you guys want us to go to? Or?
You know what? For your listeners and watchers out there, go to 911victims.com. That's 911victims.com. There's so much information about the free healthcare nationwide. So if you're one of these snowbirds going back and forth, you can get treatment in Florida, North Carolina, Arizona, but also up here in New York area when you're back here. And there's information about the deadlines. The only deadline that really applies now are to the people who die. Their families have 2 years from the date of death to register a claim. But the special master has been wonderful, and she will often find extenuating circumstances and waive the statute of limitations. But there's no reason to wait. Protect yourselves and enroll now.
Thank you, Michael. You guys are great. It was good seeing you.
You too.
And we're going to see you May 5th at the
You will.
FBI Museum.
Wouldn't miss it. Guacamole on you.
Look forward to seeing you.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. Good to see you as well, buddy.
All right. Take care. Thank you for everything.
How nice.
Great guy. And what he didn't say there is he has hired so many children of people that were lost on 9/11 for his firm.
Wow.
In fact, Bridget has 2 younger brothers, twins. There's triplets, but 2 of the twins work for Michael also. The third one doesn't. So he's doing great work.
Amazing.
Always giving back. Michael Barish from Barish and McGarry. So are we breaking now, Butch?
We are going to break. Bert is having some trouble getting on. I am helping him. So we are going to take a quick break.
All right. We'll be back after this message.
Hi, I'm Gretchen Rossi.
And I'm Arthur Lee, the creator of LifeVac.
We're here today to announce that to date, LifeVac has saved hundreds of lives of people who almost died due to choking.
People may not realize that on average, 14 people a day die from choking-related incidents. Every 5 days, one of those lives is a child. That's why I created LifeVac.
And as a new mom, and from housewife to housewife, I felt compelled to share with you the discovery of this life-saving device.
LifeVac is a simple-to-use airway clearance device. Just place, push, and pull to save a life.
And it costs less than it would take to fill up your car with a tank of gas. Imagine being able to save a life for less than $70.
To learn more, please visit lifevac.net.
That's LIFEVAC.net.
Please don't allow one of your loved ones to become the victim of a choking accident.
Welcome back, everybody, to Laughter Saves Lives Live. I am guessing right now that we're having a little bit of trouble, but I think we're okay. There we go. We're okay. We're okay.
Do we have Bert?
Bert will be on in 1 minute. He had an issue. He's logging on in about a minute.
Run our flyers. Let's run our flyers, Butch. Who is that? Who's coughing?
There we go.
Oh, shoot. I wrote them all down. Oh, I got them here. All right.
Saturday, March 18th.
On March 18th, Sayville Fire Department. March 26th, East Hampton Fire Department. April 2nd, Wantor Fire Department. On the 15th, we are at the Oceanside VFW. We're doing an animal rescue show with Chelsea and Posh Rescue. On the 22nd, the Michael J. Doland III Scholarship Fund. That's going to be at the same place in Oceanside at the VFW. We're going to be doing a lot of shows there. 23rd is Freeport Yacht Club. And on the 30th is the Green Lawn Fire Department. Now, on May 5th, we just mentioned Cinco de Mayo. We're at the FDNY Fire Museum. We just added May 7th, St. Stanislaus Elementary School. Rich Walker's going to be on that show. The flyer's not up there yet, Bobby. May 13th, I don't think we have a flyer either. Williston Park Fire Department in Long Island. So Laughter Saves Lives is filling up with shows.
Look at you.
It's great to see comics getting some work, being out there making people laugh. Butch is back.
Our guest is in, so please introduce him.
Let's do it.
Nice. Oh, nice. Go ahead. You want to do the intro?
Okay. All right. Wow. It gives us great honor and pleasure
to
welcome this man, a childhood icon of mine. Wait until I meet this guy. I can't even wait.
Needs no introduction.
He needs no introduction. But of course, he portrayed Robin in the 60s television show, Batman, and now keeps our pets healthy and living longer with his line of Gentle Giants pet products. And he saved over 15,000 dogs as well in his rescue.
Awesome. Bert Ward.
So, ladies and gentlemen, Bert Ward.
Yes.
Hello. Hello, citizens.
How are you?
Hello, Bert. How are you tonight, my friend?
Very good, thank you.
You've been on the show before. Usually, if people have been on the show once, they don't want to come on anymore.
Oh, no, that's okay. I fully recovered.
Good. All right. Good.
Took you a few months. I'm going to ask you one question. I know Rich wasn't on the last time. You weren't on the last time, Bert.
No.
So he's going to want to ask you some questions. But I was thinking, what can I ask Bert that he's never been asked before? All right. And that's really tough because you've been around a long time and very popular. So I'm going to ask you this question. You tell me if you've ever been asked before. How would you describe your career to me?
Oh, I haven't been asked that really a couple of times, maybe. No more than 75. But that's
how many times?
Oh, I'm sure. Listen, I am very fortunate that I had a wonderful opportunity as a young adult. I was a teenager, going on and having an opportunity to try out for this wonderful role. It turned out to be the #1 television show in the entire world at the time, Batman, twice a week, prime time. I was actually, when I finally got it, I was 20 years old, and I actually had to go to court here in California for my parents to sign for me to be able to do the role because I wasn't 21 at the time. But I would say that it's been an amazing, wonderful career and a wonderful life. A lot of actors would, do a whole bunch of different things and to become known. I, of course, did Batman, and I have done a bunch of other things, but not near the success of Batman. So the way I look at it is my glass is full, whether it's with one major accomplishment and a bunch of smaller ones. But I've had an incredible life, a incredible career. I've loved every minute of it, except when I was in the hospital for the explosions and third-degree burns and broken nose and stuff like that.
You injured a lot, right?
Those minor little things, because Batman was a dangerous show to shoot. But overall, I've had an amazing, wonderful time, and I've been blessed to be able to be in a position to do good things for others, which is what I've now spent the last 27 years caring. My wife and I operate the world's largest giant breed dog rescue, having rescued 15,500 dogs.
Wow.
Every one would have been put to death if we hadn't been there to save it. That's a lot of animals to save. And in the course of doing that, developing a pet food, which is our charity. My wife and I don't take any salary from this, but we are amazed to have dogs that normally live 7, 8, 9 years. Our dogs are living up to 27 and a half years. Our cats are living up to 32 years. We're very excited. We have the best technology, and everything we do is for the animals. It's not something that we're trying to make a profit on. We're not. We don't take any salary. But what we have done is focus on what needs to be done so that animals are living so much longer. And
talk about paying it forward. Am I right?
But the thing that gives me the greatest pleasure is the fact that the people that own these animals, the pet parents, now can have their dog or cat an extra 10 or years or 15 years longer. And a healthy animal that you're not running back and forth to the veterinarian. Our dogs here are so healthy that the only time they go to a vet is every 3 years for a $10 rabies update. That's how healthy they are. And our dogs here now, we always have a minimum of 50 in our home. These are not dogs outside. They're not they're in our house. 50 of them always for 27 years. That's how we got all 15,500, because ones come in, they get adopted, new ones come in, and over 27 years, we've gone actually way over 15,500. We stopped counting at 15,500, which was about 5 years ago.
Hey, Bert, I'm sure Richie was dying to be on the show.
I just want to ask one question. So your pets, your rescue pets, they're on a Gentle Giant's diet?
Oh, everyone. And then not just the diet, but on the feeding and care. We found a way by feeding and caring for dogs properly that you can add 3 to 5 years life to every animal just by the way you feed and care for them, in addition to the food, just by the way you feed and care for them. And
this one's on Gentle Giants right here.
There you go. There you go. Looks pretty healthy to me. And
now, where can you buy Gentle Giants, Bert?
Everywhere. We're in Walmart's. We're in Target stores. We're in many different grocery stores, and we're online with everybody. Walmart.com, Target.com, Chewy.com, Petco.com, PetSmart.com, TractorSupply.com, and our own website, GentleGiantsPetProducts.com. So our product is available everywhere. And what we've done that makes it so different, because people say, well, how is it your food could be so different from everybody else's food? And let me just tell you real quickly how it's so different, how we're able to keep these dogs living and cats living so long and so healthy. Number one, pet food companies know something the average person doesn't know, which is the more fat content they put in the pet food, the hungrier it makes the animal. In other words, dog food and cat food have extra fat in them. And
so this is like keto.
Worse yet, on the outside of the food, they spray it with animal fat. When that animal fat confuses the brain of the dog or cat to believe that it's always hungry. That's why people tell me, oh, my dog's always hungry. Well, yes, because you're giving them a food that is full of fat and coated with grease on the outside. I tell people, you want to know how we can have dogs living to 27 and a half years and your dog can't? You want to know why our dogs are running around like puppies in their 20s and your dog at 8 years old is having a problem getting up and a problem walking? Go pick up the food that you're feeding them. Okay, rub it in your fingers, put it down, rub your fingers together. You're going to feel that slightly greasy feeling. Everybody says they
top of the can.
Yeah, but here's the thing. They don't understand how deadly it is. And here's how to understand it. Think of it this way. Would any of you ever take a can of bacon fat, pour it down your garbage disposal, your sink at home? You'd never do that, because you know that unlike water that evaporates, animal fat coagulates and it hardens and it gets like cement. So when you realize that you would ruin the pipes in your sink by putting a can of bacon
Right.
fat in it, why would you ever feed a dog or a cat a food that every single
could you do me?
has got grease on the outside of it?
Bert, can you do me a favor?
Yes.
Richie's, like I said, has been dying
I've
to come on
been
the show.
waiting for months.
And he
for
has
this.
one or two questions he wants
Just
to ask
one.
you.
Whatever you like. I'm here for you guys.
Thank you, Bert.
I don't mean this in any disrespect. When I was 4 years old, my mother took me to Levittown movie theater. Back then, actors did their own promo, I guess. You went out, and you were there with Adam West in full costume. And my mother always said to me, it was your greatest day ever because I reached out and grabbed your cape. And I was just wondering, do you remember me at all?
Can I tell you something?
Yeah.
I think when this occurred, when our Batman movie came out, we
That's
made
right.
an appearance. We were supposed to go to 36 theaters in 3 days. And we had a bus with 17 police on the bus. And at every one of the theaters, there was anywhere from 50 to 100 police just trying to keep people back from storming when we would come in. Now, we didn't get to all 36, because there actually they said it was just too dangerous. They couldn't control the crowds in 3 of them. But we did go to the 33. And I must tell you something. It was maddening. It is maddening. First of all, remember, Adam and I are wearing costumes that limit our vision. Okay. In other words, when I put my costume on, I can see straight ahead, but I can't see left or right.
Rich, you can't see Rich.
Below me, I have to look. It's almost like a tunnel vision. So we're both limited to what we can see. Secondly, I've made 7,000 personal appearances during my career. Over 7,000.
So you're saying you
signed over 8.5 million autographs.
Wow.
To be honest with you, it's really hard to remember any particular
Wrong answer. Yes, I remember you. You were this big.
You could have told him yes. It would have made his night, Bert.
I understand, but you have to understand. I play a crime fighter. We are always honest. We are all American.
Let me say one thing. You have always been my hero, Bert. No kidding.
Well, that just shows you have excellent taste.
I do.
And you're doing great work.
And now my cat's going to have excellent taste.
Yes, you're doing
great
work.
Yeah, our cats are amazing. Yeah.
Now you're adding cat food to your brand.
Yes, we are. Well, here's how we got involved with the cats.
Well, we have like 30. We have like 30 seconds.
Go.
Okay, I'll make it quick. For all these years, our cats were actually eating our dog food. And when we lost 2 cats last year, one at 31 and 32, we realized, oh my gosh, let's convert what we have with our dog food and make it special with our nutritionist for cat food. And that's why we did it. But right here now, almost every animal we have here has doubled its lifespan. That's amazing. That is amazing.
Website, Bert, website.
GentleGiantsDogFood.com and GentleGiantsCatFood.com. And our store is GentleGiantsPetProducts.com.
Awesome. Bert, it was so nice of you to come back on. Good luck with the project. You're doing good work for our animals out there.
Well, thank you. And as we said on Batman, to the Batmobile!
Yes! To the Batmobile! Bert won, people! Bert won!
Bye-bye.
Wow,
Thanks, guys.
That was fun. I don't think we're going to break. We're going to go right. Are we going to go break, Butch, or are we going right to our comic?
We are going right to Mike. He's been waiting patiently.
Wow. Great. All right, great.
This is amazing. This gentleman has been a friend of ours. He's a headline comic. It's coming on the show tonight. Please, a nice warm welcome for Mike Burton, who's wearing a Batman costume. Where's the costume?
Oh,
we thought you were going to wear a costume, a tight-fitting Batman costume.
That was so great. I didn't know he was going to be on there. That was great. You didn't have to ask him one question. He was ready to go.
Now, Burt Ward opened for you.
Who would have believed it?
I went on IMDb for Burt Ward and found out some good information. I said, you know what? Let me go on for Mike Burton. Do you know what's on IMDb for Mike Burton?
Less than nothing.
No, there's some good stuff here.
Not about me.
Mike Burton is an actor known for The King of Queens, 1998, Through the Footsteps of a Madman, 2005, and Freedom of Speech Comedy Show 2008, and also Paul Blart, Mall Cop 2.
Yes. And that Mike Burton lives in LA. That's true.
Doing.
That's not me. That's the LA Mike Burton.
You have any funny for us?
What do you want to know? I didn't know what we were doing on this.
What do you want to do?
Do some of your shtick.
Do some of my shtick.
He puts you on the spot like that. What's been going on in your world?
What's been going on?
What has been going on? We're going back to work. We're getting on cruises.
Great.
Good.
I get on one on Sunday, which is awesome. Nice to be out there cruising and working. Like you know what's funny when doing the show and both of you guys, I met you both, and I want to say in a similar way, although completely different time. Right. But I think I've met you both doing a Bix gig at two different places.
Wow.
Like John and I met in Dover, Delaware, when we did first night, and we had like 82 shows in one night. And
you remember how sick I was?
Yes, sick as a dog.
I brought my family. 5 shows we had, 5 20-minute sets, walking through town, and I was so sick. That was a horrible experience, other than meeting you.
People came at that very last show, and we started at 8, and we did 20 minutes each, and then 20 minutes to change the room over, and then another show, and then 20 minutes, and by that last show, I remember people coming in and sleeping during the show.
That was me.
And it's like, you could go home. What are you doing here? Why? There's no requirement. You don't have to come. And just out. Nothing makes you feel better than just somebody sleeping in the front row. And then Rich and I met. I don't remember where it was, but I know that it was
where it was. I think we were on in Scranton at that Scott Bruce show, and we even went out for a few drinks after at the bar. Was that where I met you? I don't remember.
I don't remember that. I remember that you and I and Paul Bond did a show at like one of those fundraiser type. It could have been a country club. It might have been a bar or fire hall, like one of those type gigs.
Mike, what is one of the worst gigs you ever did?
I did a backyard party out in Long Island.
Okay.
Middle of the afternoon. So I was like, all right, I'll make money in the middle of the afternoon and then make money at night. And it was one of those gigs that, what do they say? Not worth it at all. Wow. And I show up, it's 2:00 in the afternoon, and it's a nurse who's graduated from nursing school, and she's older, like she's my age at the time, like in our 40s. But her fellow students were young, and they had family there, and they had a DJ. They had people playing volleyball next to me. They had one of those tents set up, and people were sitting under that. And when I got there, the guy goes, "You can stand over there on that pallet and do your thing." "You mean 40 feet away from everybody?" I said, "No, I'm not doing that." And I said, "Can I just use the DJ's mic and be here, like in front of the people?" And he's like, "All right." Like, I don't know why that would work, because let me show you. And so the DJ begrudgingly gave me his microphone.
Yeah.
And the cord, of course, like this long. And so I'm standing there. I have and big drunk uncle is standing directly next to me. And you're trying to do anything to get these people, just get a laugh, just whatever. And drunk uncle, "Do your thing, do it. And I'm like, I can't do this with you right here. It was brutal.
We've all been
like the nursing students started heckling, and then new people showed up, so they had to say hi and hug everybody. And I was like, I couldn't be less necessary than I am right now. And then the guy paid me, and he didn't want to, and I didn't want to do the show, but I was like, I'm taking your check. And on my walk out to the car, I have to go like through a fence, driveway, car in the street, and the drunk uncle is throwing up right next to the gate where I'm leaving. And I said, "This is exactly the way this should end. This is the perfect ending to this show. This is the way this should happen. This is my fault for saying yes."
I'm sorry. I did a 30th birthday party for a firefighter's wife, and surprise comic. And right before he hands me the mic, he goes, "Oh, this is going to be great. My wife hates comedy." Oh, it was brutal.
It's hilarious. People really don't have any idea. Just stand up there and be funny is their whole idea.
Yeah.
And it's never good as a surprise, no matter what. There's no, if you don't know that you're getting comedy, nobody wants it.
I always tell them that you're having a comedian at this party, so they're well prepared for it.
Yes.
Otherwise, you're disturbing their conversation with their friends they haven't seen in 20 years.
What are some of the things you talk about in your act? What are some of the topics you touch on?
I mean, I always do stuff about like the marriage and stuff. I mean, that's where everything is. You do what you know.
Tell us about that.
So, all right. So, speaking of doing cruise ships and stuff, so I'm normally gone for like say 2 weeks, 3 weeks at a time. And my wife is crafty. Do you have a crafty wife? Do your wives do crafts? Like we're like, hey, do you want to go to Michael's? Never. I never want to go to Michael's. Don't even ask me if I want to go. So I come home. There was one time I was gone for 3 weeks, and I came home, and there were plates on the wall in the bathroom in the apartment. Plate. Why? Because they matched the shower curtain. I didn't even know that was an option. So I went out and bought us a pool table, and it's beautiful. I love shooting pool. Like I bought us a pool table, black and silver. She's like, why did you buy us that? I'm like, because it matches the toaster, stupid. Shut up. But I do. I have to take early flights to get on some of the ships and stuff. You ever take like that early flight, that 6 a.m. flight?
Yeah. Sure.
Brutal. Those are brutal. I just had to do one down to Miami a couple of weeks ago. And like when you get on, like the way to do it in New York, it's a little bit easier. But I tell people all the time, if you ever have to take that 6 a.m. flight, just wake up and start moving. Don't drink any coffee. Wait on all that. Just zombie through the entire experience. In New York City, you just walk outside, get in a cab. Yeah, go to LaGuardia. You know where it is. Go. A security. Yeah, take the shoes. Take them both. I don't care. Check them out. You'll like them. One of them's new. And then when you get to your seat, that's where you take out the magazine and you read a little bit. You sleep and read and then sleep. On my last flight, everybody got it. Zone, whatever I'm in, we're all quiet. We're all going to sleep. Yeah. But we all got happy in the morning stewardess. Good morning, hi. Good morning, hi. Good morning, hi. Hey, Sherry, shut up. It's 6 a.m. Shush. But she's up and down the aisle. She wants to be everybody's friend in the morning. Can I get you anything? Would you like a pillow? Would you like a little blanket? She gets to the woman sitting across the aisle from me who's reading a book. And she stops. She goes, oh, you're a runner? And the woman looks up and says, what? She said, I can tell by the title of your book, you're a runner. The title of her book, Running with Scissors. I'm not smart enough to make that up. I'm not a reader, but I know that that's not about getting ready for marathons.
No.
Like, hey, the lady behind her's reading 50 Shades of Grey. I'll bet she's an artist. You should talk to her.
We have 1 minute, Mike.
1 minute. What do you want to know?
What do you got coming up?
What do you got coming up? Yeah.
What do I have coming up? Tomorrow night and Friday, I'll be at the comic strip on 82nd, 2nd Avenue and 82nd Street. And then I get on a ship on Sunday. But I don't have to travel for that one. That one is my wife drops me off on the West Side Highway, says, get out of the car. And I go get on a ship. It's perfect.
Look at you.
Love
What's
that.
Your website, Twitter, all that good stuff.
I don't even know my Twitter handle. At FunnyMPB, I guess. My website is MikePBurton .com.
It's amazing how comics are the only ones that don't know how to use social media.
I'm terrible at it. There's guys that are great at it. I'm terrible at it. I don't have one of those, like, I need to make a video every day. I don't have that.
Right.
I mean, I guess it's a drive that they have, but there's a lot of things that don't need to be out there every day.
Well, thank you.
True.
Thank you, Mike. We got to get going. Mike Burton, one of our favorite comics.
Great job, Mike.
Thank you to
Thank you for having me on,
Bridget Gormley from Barish and McGarry, Burt Ward from Burt Ward and Gentle Giant Pet Products. Thank you to Butch Seltzer for producing another wonderful show. And we will be back next week. But right now, we're joining our friend John Santo. We're going to the diner. Good night, everybody.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you, guys. Good to see you.
Old leather gloves, we're slapping in hands, popcorn and peanuts, we'll work in the stands. Pink cotton candy, love on a stick. He's chasing the beer that circle the lips. Play ball, play ball. Roll up the bases and smack it right over the wall.
Play ball.
Play ball.